Hi everyone, Renee here, and today I'd like to show you how I age my digitals to make them look more vintage and old-timey. And this is the page that I've started with. This one's from the Flowers and Ephemera set, and I'll pop the link in the description box. And this is what they look like now I've aged them, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Let's begin. So first I'm just going to cut out the digitals. Right, let's start with the letter one. Now I always imagine letters are old and folded away, tucked in envelopes or in pockets or something. So I'm going to put some folds in this letter, like this. And I'm going to take a nail file and run it across the crease. Now try not to do the whole crease or you're just going to end up cutting the page completely off. But go heavy in some places and just a little lighter in others. We want it to just have that roughed up look. Folding it the other way so I can get this crease. Hello Larry. And then I'm going to fold it the other way and do the same thing on the actual image side. Larry, I think you might be in the way a bit there. And the other crease. Alright, then I'm going to get this ink. This is Vintage Photo Archival ink. Larry, up down, sweetheart. We'll cuddles in a minute. Go cuddles with Daddy. Alright, then I'm going to get this Vintage Photo ink and ink those creases that we've just roughed up. Fold the other way. Do that one as well. Make sure I got it all. Yep. Alright, so if I unfold that, you can see we've got some little tears in places and a nice aged line. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to crinkle it all up, and I want the image to be on the outside of the crinkles rather than the back. So crinkling it, trying to force the image to be on the outside of my crinkled ball. And then I'm going to take the Vintage Photo ink again, and I'm just going to press this little scrunched up ball into the ink pad, just like that, all around. So now when I open it again, you have to be a little gentle at this point because we've distressed it so much it wants to tear. I think it has actually torn apart one of these places, but that's alright. Right, so I don't want to flatten it out just yet. I just want to open it slightly so I've still got it all crinkled like this. And I'm going to get the ink again and the tool, and I'm just going to brush it so I'm hitting all the little peaks of all the crinkles, or as many as I can. I'm not pushing too hard, I'm just kind of brushing it over like this. Just like this. Like that. Alright. So next what I'm going to do is I have printed, Larry is currently sitting on it, I have printed a page. This one is from the Grunge book covers pages. You don't need to do this. On the previous ones I distressed, I just did white paper. Where did I put them? And I can show you, probably under Larry. So on this one I just did white paper on the back and inked it a bit. But this time I'm going to try using this printed page. So I'm going to cut this out like that. Alright, so turning it so that the coloured side is down and getting a piece of paper I can glue on like this. I'm just going to turn this over and get some glue on the back like this. Glue on here and on here. And then I'm going to take it and press it onto the white side of this other paper. Now I don't want to smooth it out. I don't want the wrinkles to be all smoothed out. So I'm just going to pat it down wherever it's lands, basically. Pat, 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 pat. And then I'm going to cut it out again. So if you were sticking this in a book, I wouldn't bother going to the trouble of using coloured paper or doing anything to the back, but because I've made this sort of a standalone item that doesn't need to be glued down, it could be folded and put in a pocket or an envelope or something, I'm going to refold the folds, make sure I get them in the right place, that one there too, and give the same distress treatment to the back, but not as thorough, because I don't want it tearing through again. So just a bit on each of these, fold it over, a bit here, ink, ink. So let's take a bit of a look. Yep, that's good. I'm going to give it a small screwing up, but I don't want to do it too much this time. And I'm just going to dab this back side. Open it. Basically all the stuff we did to the front I'm just doing to the back, just to give it the same feel. Then I'm going to roll it up a bit and distress the edges a bit. And same with the top. Well, it's the top and the bottom, isn't it? Because it's folded still. Alright, ink, ink, ink. Paper currently feels a bit like leather. Alright, so I'm going to pop a little bit extra glue in these creases so that doesn't come up as much, like that. And I'm going to give a bit more ink around this edge. Just like that. So now I've got a very old looking letter. Like that. Okay, let's do the other one. I'll do it slightly different because I'm not going to fold this one. So this time what I want to do is I'm going to bunch it up, but I'm going to bunch it up so that there's a point. I've kind of picked a part of the page and made a bit of a point of it. I'm going to get the nail file and I'm just going to rub that point on the file. And I'm going to do that in 3 or so places. Another point there. And another one here. Let's take a look at that. Might do one more here. Alright, so now I'm going to do like before, screw it up so that the image is on the outside of the ball and dab it into my ink, like so. Open it up and get off. Ink all the hills of all the crinkles, like this. And I'm going to just kind of fold it so I can get at these torn holy parts, just to make sure I get some ink all around those edges as well, like that. Alright, so just like last time, I'm going to glue it on a back sheet, but this time I'm just going to go with plain white. Here's one we prepared earlier. And need my glue sheet again. Glue. Sticking it on the white, like this. Pat, pat, not rubbing the crinkles out, just patting them on. Right, I'm going to take my domed inking tool and I'm just going to give a little ink over the holes so we can dull down that white behind it. You don't have to do this backing it onto anything. I just like the sturdiness of it. It feels very substantial and old, sort of a leathery feel. I don't know, try both and see which you like. And this one. Right, on the back, because it's so white, I'm going to use this dome tool again and I'm just going to smudge it around. Actually, what I'll do first is I'm going to give it a little bit of a crinkle. That way, while I'm going around with my dome tool, you'll see that it'll highlight the wrinkles and it's a nice effect. See that? So pretty. All over. Like that. Give it a bit more over here. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of roll it up and distress the edges. And find the top and bottom and distress those edges too. Ink and ink and ink. Right. So there we have the next one. A bit more ink around the edge of the back. Like I said, if you're going to just fold this up or pop it in a pocket or an envelope, it's kind of a little hidden treasure. You could, if you've got nice handwriting, which I don't, you could write a nice little handwritten letter and give it this age treatment. There we go. So that's all there is to it. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you liked this and will give it a try, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.